Hello, Flosstube friends. I'm Nancy Joy Trower. I'm the Stitcher with a Laughing Face, and this is day 12 and the final day of my Christmas vacation special series. So I have to go back to work tomorrow. I am not thrilled. Really, it's like 2 days, and then I don't know. I wish we had the 2 days elsewhere, and we would have had a full 2 weeks. But and also maybe because I have to hit the ground running, and because we have couple of weeks and then it's a book fair, so I have a lot of prep to do for that and a lot of prep to convince my fellow teachers to do for me. So but thank you so much, those of you who have been with me for the 12 days of Christmas vacation. It's been a lot of fun. I didn't film every day like I first intended. I didn't get as much done as I always intend over Christmas break. I did yesterday do some organizing that I'm very proud of. I'll tell you about that in a second, but I do want to say thank you to all of my viewers who've been with me from the beginning. It's been almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in February. And I want to welcome all the new people who've just subscribed. That's so awesome. Thank you so much. And I hope that you've been having fun and stitching along and working on whatever you're working on. Well, you're seeing what I've been up to. So thank you so much for being part of my stitchy circle. You really mean just so much to me. I really appreciate it. And thank you. And a Happy New Year, January 1st, 2025. How long will it take us to remember to write 25? I don't know. I put up my new Know Me calendar. It's very cute. And I grabbed a couple of the January pieces to switch out for December ones. I have to like dig out the month to month that's in a box behind you. There's a lot of stuff in front of it. So I'm going to switch those out. But I did do some organizing yesterday. So when I moved everything into this craft room, I moved my cross-stitching patterns. Those had all been up in my bedroom. It took about a whole shelf and a half in a bookcase that I had there. And I brought them all down here to be in the craft room. And I was really glad that I hadn't left them in the basement because there was some damage to some scrapbooking magazines that I had down there. So I was happy that they'd all been well preserved. Because I have some old cross-stitching magazines and really old patterns. But the bookshelf sat empty for like 2 months because I needed to clean it. So I don't love cleaning. I know there's some people that just absolutely love to clean. I do not. I do clean the downstairs of the house more than I clean my own room because whenever I switch out the decorations, I'm going to dust, as I'm doing that. But I've developed a really bad dust allergy. And I actually have to dust wearing a mask. So, because otherwise I can feel it like coating my throat and my nose and it's not fun. So I use that as my reason why I don't clean my bedroom as much as I should have. So in the first picture, you're going to see the dust. So this is what my bookcases looked like. Kind of a hodgepodge, like not organized. Librarian, and it wasn't really organized. But that was because there's a good portion that was for the cross-stitching stuff. So yesterday I took everything off, cleaned everything, dusted everything, pledged it, old Englished it, whatever it was. And then I reorganized it. So the bookcase on the left is all my TBR, which is to be read. That's a lot of TBRs. And then the one on the right is everything that I have read already, except for the stack that's lying on its side. That's all my stuff that I got for Christmas. That's my Christmas book haul. So I am going to start on that soon. I still have a couple of Christmassy books that I want to finish reading. Oh shoot, I don't have my iPad with me. I'll put the picture up. I did finish my 77th book yesterday, the Have Yourself a Deadly Little Christmas from Vicki Delany's Christmas or Year-Round Christmas Town or whatever the name of the series is. The main character is Mary. She runs Mrs. Claus's Treasures, and she always seems to be wound up somehow involved in the little mysteries that happen in her town. I do really like Vicki Delany's stuff. That one was kind of a treat because it's not part of Kindle Unlimited, but it was very fun. So I do have a couple other Christmas ones I want to read before I move into regular. That's a couple things I need to do today too. I'm wearing regular clothing again, not just Christmas clothes. So I need to put all my Christmas clothes and my Christmas socks away. I need to reorganize the wrapping paper and that's in like a very long closet we have upstairs. And so that whole section of the closet needs to be reorganized. And I was going to do all of that over break. and downstairs. I still haven't finished rearranging all of the stuff in the basement that didn't fit into this room. So it didn't all get done over break. Oh well, we had a great break. Just hanging out with family, and Max was here with Abby. They just left. We had a lot of fun with them, playing games and just hanging out. And it's always hard when they go home to their home, because really Philly is home for him now with his cat Theo, who he is totally besotted with. Always said he never wanted a cat, and his cat has him wrapped around his little tiny claw, like, very firmly. But it was nice to have them here, and Sam came over yesterday for a little bit to hang out to see Max before he went, and so didn't get stuff done. But I'm going to try to be like, make a list of the projects that need to get done, and like do one every weekend or do one every day, and really try not to let things go. We always say that in January, don't we? And then how long does that go for? I'll stick with it this year. I will. So yeah, the last time I filmed was on Sunday. We went and had a wonderful time with my brother, my sister-in-law, and their son Will joined us for lunch, exchanged presents, and just had great fun. And it was kind of fun to be in the restaurant while the Bills were playing, because we kicked the Jets' butts. And everybody kept yelling every time that Josh did something amazing, because that's what he does. And that catch from Coleman was spectacular. That was pretty cool. Now fantasy is over. I got 5th place out of the league. We had 8 people, and I got 5th place. But I was like, I won the losers bracket. That was the bottom half. I got 1st place in that. So really, it just means like where I get to choose in picking when we do our draft next year. But it was fun. It was very close at the end. William, my nephew, beat Abby by like 3 points. It was so close at the end. So he is the champion, and she came in second, and then Sam, and then Gina. And then I was 5th, Phil was 6th, my Max was 7th, and my poor brother lost for the 2nd year in a row. So, poor guy. But it is fun. We thought of a couple changes for next year to kind of do things a little bit differently. I don't think I will get Josh again next year. I think somebody will steal him from me, but he's always my quarterback, so he's awesome. And he is only starting for a little bit on Sunday to keep his streak of consecutive starts going, because he has the longest in the league right now of quarterbacks, 112. And then they're sitting him because it doesn't matter. Like, we'll probably beat the Patriots anyway. But we have our 2nd seed already firmed up, and it's more important for him to be ready for playoffs. So enough football. Sorry. You know me. I get on my little Buffalo rants. So I did finish Mary, the Santa. So I have Jolly and Mary done, and I'm going to be doing some sewing today, because I have to finish that Halloween quilt for Jake and Jordan. So I'm going to do some work on that today. So when I get the ironing board out, I'm going to iron this, and then I can FFO it with the red velvet frame. So I can show you those next time. And I decided I didn't put the pick. I was kind of wanting to put, I had a pick to put near the frame, and I just kind of laid it in front of it, and it looked good. So there's Mary. Now here's the funny part. This is all I had left of the Bing Cherry. So I did get to do his hat and the Bing Cherry, but I was definitely playing chicken. So chicken, for those of you who don't know, when you say play chicken, it's, are you going to be able to finish your piece with the amount of floss that you have, or you're going to run out? So I won. I won chicken. And then I worked on another Prim ornament from Pinker and Pumpkin. This is Cheer. And I did all of that Monday night while we were watching football, because that was the game that decided the championship. So we watched that very pointedly. So the other thing I did on Monday is I worked on my Stitcher's journal, or my Stitcher planner, or whatever you want to call it. So I don't do the Book of Days. I didn't even know about the Book of Days when I started this. So I have been a happy planner person I just started my 7th planner. And they're I'm looking, because they're like up in my bucket up here. It's kind of cool to look back and be able to flip through the year and see what we've been up to. It's scrapbooking, journaling, planning, all rolled into one, and I really love doing it. So I have a new planner. It's all set up. and ready to get going. But I used to have a list of what I was working on, and it moved from planner to planner to planner for a couple of years, but it didn't really have a lot of detail about stuff. So I decided to make my own planner specifically for stitching and quilting and stuff. So this is just Studio 52, which I got at Hobby Lobby. So it's just this cool little like barnwood binder. So I bought the binder, and then I just bought several packs of this paper. So if you see, it has little teeny tiny dots on it. And other than that, it's totally blank. So being that besides being a cross stitcher, I also quilt and I scrapbook and I do knit on occasion. I wanted it to be personalized, because I looked at some planners that were out there for stitchy stuff, and it wasn't going to be usable the way that I wanted to use it. So I started my own kind of idea. I have a couple sections in here. I have like a little intro at the beginning. There's my, and I found this really awesome set of stickers from Happy Planner that was Miss Maker. So it has all this great crafting stuff in it. So that's my craft planner, started in 2022. And I do have some lists. Like here's the list from 2023 when I did my 50 for 50 challenge. And then I made like a really elaborate list for the 24 and 24 last year. And I made it like 3 months. So I was like, didn't go that far. So here's like what I actually did in 2024. And I broke it up by month, and I checked it off like if it's been FFO'd. So like Valentine City, I did number 3 because I'm doing them all together. The Stitch Worth in the Housewives Little Village. But I only finished number 3. So when I get the other ones done, then I'll finish it. So I had a total, and I went through my regular planner my Happy Planner, and I write down on the month what I'm working, like when I start something and when I finish it. So that is a nice way to keep track of when things started and finished. And so I was able to take a look. I started 62 projects in the year, and I finished 51. And then cross-stitching. And then I had 3 quilts that were finished and 1 started. So, but the nice thing about the way that I can do it is I color-coded it. So everything cross-stitching is orange. So it has like a little orange tag over here, and then I use orange accents on the page. So that says like project title, when I started it, when I finished. So it's empty. This is Loads of Love from Primrose. Then there's a little description. I make a little box about supplies. That over there it has the designer name. I said like this was part of a sale, but I got terribly behind. And then there's a box for finishing. So that's, I can do that for a single project. But then very often there'll be sets of things. Like this is Stitching with the Housewives Strawberries. So this is all the roundabouts. So I checked off like which ones are done, which ones are, none of them are finished yet. Except for You're My Jam. I did finish that one. And then down here are the Strawberry Festival, which is the little street. And I have like one of those done. And that's written on the bottom that it's hand dyed denim blue Monaco. So I can keep track of, what the supplies that I used, what I did with it, why I started something. Like here's the Valentine stitching. So there's a little description about what I liked about it. And then down here I can check it off as they get done. For quilting, so there's a section that's all in progress. And then there's a section that's completed. And so I can move stuff here when it's done. And then, and I like this with the smalls, because if you look at some of the other planner things, like, if you're going to do the Valentine smalls, here's a page that has like Lovebirds, Be My Valentine, Hugs and Kisses in Valentine Lane. Those are all like those tidbit ta-das, like they're really tiny. Do you really need a whole sheet for each one in some of the other planners? I didn't think so. But then something bigger, that took longer, you want to write about like why you were inspired by it or whatever, you can adjust that too. Like here's the Calendar Girls from Sugar Stitches. So I checked them off as they went. So I enjoy this one. The problem is that I do get terribly, terribly far behind on getting stuff done. Here's a pink one because that's quilting. And so I could do the same kind of thing when I started it, what kind of stuff I'm using. And then it's got like fabric chosen, fabric cut, pieced, quilted, bound, that kind of thing. So I probably worked on this for like 2 or 3 hours the other day because I haven't been good about writing stuff out. So that was very helpful to have it written in my regular planner, my happy planner, when I started something, when I finished it. I had a little list for myself of, because there's the list of everything that I finished in 24, but then I also, so when working on, you know, making a page for each of those, but then also having a page for the stuff that I'm still working on. So, and I'm going to try to be better about that this year, making a page, and then as soon as I get something started. So that was fun to work on. It was kind of cool to see how much I worked, how much I started, how much I finished. It wasn't too far off, which is, you know, it wasn't like I started 80 things and only finished 4. Serial starter, right? So, all right. So that brings me to my 12 days of Christmas. I'm going to do these first, and then I'm going to start my WIP parade because I have no idea how many WIPs I have. It'll be a surprise for everybody. All right, so this was generously given to me by Jessica, who is the owner and chief stitching officer at the Stitching Corner, which is in Ransomville, New York. That is my LNS. She's delightful. And go check her out. So she gave me this bag that had a lot of cute stuff in it. There's some things I'm going to use in here, and there's some things that I'm going to use as giveaways. So, like, I'm almost at 700 viewers now, which is mainly because of Jessica, Sweetwater Stitcher, mentioning me, and then I had a whole bunch of new people sign up, which is awesome. So, maybe I'll give some giveaways when I hit 700. We'll do that. And also, the Little Something Sale is starting, so we'll talk about that in a minute, too. All right, so envelope number 10. And this is awesome, very timely, because it's Happy Valentine's Day from Anabella's. Very, very cute. And easy. I would probably actually make the truck pink or yellow, or pink or blue, because I have a bunch of pink and blue Valentine's Day stuff. But that is super cute. Anabella's smalls are great, because they are quick. So it's nice to be able to finish something off. So that was 10. And then day 11. Oh, fun. Halloween. It's a date, October 31st, from the Mindful Needle. Another cute little small. Oh, and look at this one. This is a very cute prim one. This is from Homespun Elegance, Wicked Stitcher. I could stitch that for Max, because his Theo is Black Cat. It's very cute. I like that there's like all sorts of different holidays included in this bag. That's very fun. And then the 12th day of Christmas, the last day. I mean, technically the 12 days of Christmas go from Christmas to Epiphany, but I'm doing 12 days of Christmas vacation. Ooh, look at this one. Oh my goodness, that's so pretty. This is from Modern Folk Embrodiery, Alternative Trees. Look at that. Those are just gorgeous. I think I've seen, is it Lost in Stitches? I think she's done some of their stuff. That is just gorgeous. Wow. Those are pretty cool. Accompanying designs to Reaching Skyward. And there's the picture of that on the back. That's amazing. And then there's also in here this cool little thing from Summer House Stitchworks. There's Days of Christmas Past with those cool perforated ornaments to use, put a little picture frame. So again, Jessica, thank you so much for the very fun 12 days of Christmas. That's the Stitcher's Corner out in Ransomville, New York. So thank you, Jessica. I'm going to have lots of fun with all that stuff. All right. So it's time for the WIP Parade. I have no idea how many WIPs I have. Yes, I started 61 things and finished 52, or started 62, finished 51, but there's more stuff in here. So basically what I've done is I have lined up my bags next to me. Now, most of my bags are kind of seasonal, and I don't have cute little project bags. I would like to figure out how to make those, but that might be a for retirement thing at some point. Most of my bags are the checkout bags that you find at Joann's. So obviously this one is filled with bee stuff. I just bought another Christmas one because it was so stinking cute. So I have a bunch of these. Most of them are seasonal. I've got a Valentine's Day one. I've got a strawberry one. A couple that aren't. And then I definitely have Halloween ones. So we'll just see what's in the bags. We're going to go from there. Alrighty. So I'm going to put a stitch count in the corner, or a WIP count, so we can see how many as we go. Alright. So I'm just grabbing bags, and we're going to see what's in there. All right, so this first bag is one of the ones that I'm going to be working on in week 1 of the month, because this is for my little something Sal, which the Facebook group is open. I've put it up. You have to answer 3 questions in order to be in it. So go ahead and look for Little Something Sal 2025 in Facebook group. And then we can post pictures and encourage each other, see what you're working on. Just be a fun way to encourage yourself to not always, because I found myself, I was excited to do 24 and 24 last year, and then I wound up just getting sucked into everything new that came out, and I didn't keep up with it. And then I started so many new things in October. I was like, I can't finish all of these in one Halloween season, which is September and October for me. So I wanted a way to work on them all year long. So my little something Sal is week 1 is something old. Week 2 is something new. Week 3 is something festive. And week 4 is something boo. So, so this is one that I'm definitely going to be working on in my something old. And particularly because it's not seasonal, I want to do this one. So this is Emily Call's, Love and Learning. I always say House of Love and Learning. But I love that house. It is gorgeous. So, so pretty. And that is I'm doing that on 32 count parchment. It's in a bag with the Pegasus on it. This was actually a Barnes & Noble bag. That is, what's her name? That's from Perfectly Pegasus. And I think her name is Sky. No, it's Cumulus. Yes, it's a cloud name. I'm pretty sure. So anyway, cute book. If you haven't seen it, it's really wonderful. So this is on 32 count parchment. And this is how much I have done on that so far. So it's actually most of the 1 page in the corner. So I think this one, and I am usually not a start in the corner person. I'm usually a start in the center person, but the center was like air. And so I figured it would just be easier to start in the corner on this one. Love working on this parchment. It is beautiful, beautiful fabric. So that will be one that I will definitely be getting to maybe this first week of January, but I do have something else I want to do this first week of January. So that was number 1. Number 2, sorry, you're going to keep seeing the side of my head as I reach for things, but it's all just spread out around me. Number 2 is Hygge Holiday. And I did start that this summer when it was a Sal with Kathy Haberman and Chantal and Nicole Spohr. And I did get some work done on it this summer. There's a pair of scissors I was looking for. I still have one that's AWOL. I bought one of those cute little stork ones. I have no idea where it is. I thought it was had fallen in with the books that were next to my bed, and it's not there. So it must be somewhere around my stitchy nest. I'll have to go and search. So this I'm doing on 28 count Molly, and this fabric is just gorgeous too. I would buy another whole thing of this any day. So I brought all the threads. Obviously, I was still in the middle of working on it. I don't know why there's threads in 2 different places. That's weird. But this is how much I have done. And that was, again, with the Sal, they were kind of doing by quadrants. So I'm doing the blues one. And I do decorate for January. I probably won't actually start switching out Christmas and for January until probably next weekend. So snowmen get gypped a little bit, but oh well. But I do decorate for January with all blue and silver and white. And it's very clean. After all the Christmassy stuff, it's very like crisp like winter is. So it's kind of a nice switch. But I'm not ready to do it yet. All right, so next up, so that's two WIPs. Next up, I started in August because I wanted it for my classroom, and I still do. So this is Home is Coffee from Finally a Farm Girl, and that's Oscar. And it says, home is coffee in one hand and a book in the other. So now I switched out kind of that limey green that's on there. I switched that out for, I think it's like 700 or something. One of those, like $6.99, 700, because that will go with my classroom decor better. Sorry, giant. So that's, oops. Sorry, I'm trying to hold too much on my lap. There's as much as I have done. So I have Oscar pretty well in hands there, and I have the little mouse going, and I need to get to the background. So, but, so that could be another week one thing to work on, because it's not seasonal, and that's really what I'm going to try to do. Yes, the Hygge holiday is seasonal, but I also want it like ASAP so I can put it out. But I want to work on things that are not seasonal in week one. Okay, the next bag is my Valentine's Day bag, which has some pretty old WIPs in it, because this is where I have the Waxing Moon design houses, which is actually the first thing. I just had an idea what might help me. So I'm going to pause in a minute when I like switch out all the bags. I had an idea that might help me not lean over quite so much. So Waxing Moon design. I love her stuff. So pretty. I would love to do like all of her houses. She's got a lot of cute, small, like even smaller, because the houses are actually pretty big. So this was the very first thing I bought on Etsy when I started my illustrious Etsy addiction. Is that a good word for it? That's a good word for it. So I have the whole first house done because I was going to do these three together as well. And I think this must just be on 28 count Carolina linen as well. So there's the first house, and I started on the second one. So this one would be something that I might work on in week 3, which is something festive. So super pretty. She's got haunted houses that are awesome. Her Christmas houses, she's got winter houses. There's like there's a barn series too. She also, this year that's new, is she did houses, but they're kind of like in a little scene. So it's more rectangular with like a house like here, and then there's like a little road and the whole scene around it. So check out Waxing Moon if you, oh, and normally I will put in my description what I talked about. I might not do that this time. Maybe I'll just put it across the front, because otherwise it's going to take forever. Forever to upload. I don't know. We'll see. The WIP, there might not be enough room in the description to put all the WIPs. So I might just put them across the bottom. So that was 4. All right. Then we have Loads of Love from Primrose. This is one of Katie's. And I actually kept this one at school last year because my cross-stitching club, everybody kind of, oh, there's another pair of scissors in there too. Those are school scissors. I need to take this back there. Last year in the second half of the year, my cross-stitchers really had the hang of it. So I didn't have to sit and help them quite so much. And so we'd like put a movie on and we'd just stitch. And so I brought this in and just left it there because I figured I'll just work on it when I can. And however much I get done is great. So this is how much I have done on Loads of Love. And I used the DMC variegated for the truck. So I kind of fussy cut it because some of it went to like really dark red that I didn't want. But I think it turned out pretty cute. And they called for a fancy floss for the blue, which I did not have. So I just did DMC. But that one should be doable. So that one, maybe we'll go back to school and live there. I don't know. We do have clubs starting up again soon. I do anticipate quite a few of my club members to return. So that will be fun. Okay. What else is in here? Now this is where I have like a whole bunch of stuff also that I wanted to start. Like I need to do the month-to-month February. That needs to get done because it's one of the only ones I don't have done. I have in here some like Key to My Heart, very cute roundabout. And I did just pick up the a new container of the sparkly I can't talk, sorry, I'm trying to do too many things at once. I picked up a container of the sparkly iridescent pink, which could be very fun. I also have in here the Cookies and Coffee Love You a Latte. I don't have the cover sheet though, I don't know where that is, so I can't show you the pattern. Oh, there it is. That one, which I've had for a while. That would be great in my classroom. And I also have in here the Valentine's Day Quaker, which I'm going to do on some hand-dyed linen. And I'm going to do that with silk. So this is not a WIP. But here's my hand-dyed fabric. I like how that one came out. So that's just linen in the tube. The Charles Craft, or the, which I think Charles Craft is bought out by DMC. And I'm going to do that with the DMC silk in 601. So that'll be really pretty. So that's how that's going to look. So that would be a week 2. Something new. All right. But the other WIP that's in here, because this is a WIP parade. Sorry, I digress. But yeah, I do need to get the February, and actually, there's no black coffee left in here. I'm going to just see what I can find for black coffee. So I started doing the Valentine City, and last year I did number 3. This is also on hand dyed. It's maybe a little pinker than I had wanted. I wanted it a little paler, but it's fine. It's cool. So I did number 3 because I start in the middle because I didn't want to wind up doing it wrong. So I started with 3, and then I'll do 2 and 1 and 4. So that one came out pretty cute. I forget, I did have to switch a color because it was too close to the pink. So I did go with a darker pink to make it pop. But that is number 1, 2, 3, 5. 6. That is 6. I should write this down. You would think. All right, so that's from the Valentine's Day bag, which maybe I should just like, that should go out next to my stitchy nest, as my husband calls it. It's not just a spot, it's a nest. I'm going to tally as we're going. 1, 2, 3. That's 6. Okay. Because my brain will not remember. All right, so the next bag I have sitting next to me is a bee bag. And as you may know, if you've watched me for a while, I have a thing about bees. We're actually just watching The Beekeeper with Jason Statham last night. Not for the faint of heart, but it's Jason Statham. And there is some cool information about bees in it. So it was pretty cool. All right, so this one I don't have. Anyway, I digress. I had a bee theme in my classroom for several years. And I started this one way back when I had my classroom, which was up to 2020. I was there, it was in that room from like 2015 to 2020. Yeah, I think it's this one. I started a bee quilt. I started a bee stitching. Neither of them are done yet. The bee quilt should be. That should be on my list of things to do this year. I do not have a picture of this one to show the pattern, but this is from Robin Kingsley, and this was in a cross stitch and needlework, pretty sure. Yep, June 1999 is when this was in there. So this one could very well get done this year. So this would be a good week 1, because I really just have a little bit down here at the bottom and then the borders. But to be or not to be true, be mine, believe, behave, be loving, be thankful, be happy, be careful. So, and I don't know, there's more at the bottom. But that is a pretty old WIP. I have no idea what fabric it is, but I like it. It's a little thicker than the Carolina linen that I use a lot. Maybe it's kind of like a flaxy one. This was also probably back when you could get more than just like 2 colors of Aida and white Monaco at the store, because Michael's and Joann's used to have stuff and now they really don't. And my Hobby Lobby is like almost totally devoid of everything cross stitch. It's kind of sad. It's like, do you not watch Flosstube? Do you not know what's going on in the world? All right, then I have, so that's a really old one, that bee WIP. This one is not as old. I started this one. It was actually a 24 and 24 that I did start this year. This is Honeybee Garden from Stitching with the Housewives. So this is number 8. And this is what I'm doing with the called for classic colorwork floss. I usually use the classic colorwork for their big pieces, because with something like the honeybee or some of their flowers and stuff, you want to see the variegation. And then I usually just use regular DMC for the smalls. So this is on 28 count Monaco that I hand dyed with denim. And that is how far I got last year. So it's almost like one, I'm closing it on finishing one side of the page. There's 2 pages that it came with. So, and it's not, filling in the big letters isn't really that terrible as I thought it might be. But I usually will like do a skein in a letter and then go do a flower and then go back and forth like that. So and yes, these are my very fancy project bags, because as you will see, there's lots of them. So I would love to be able to have really awesome project bags, but that's for another day. Oh, this one is almost, this is Busy Bee Honey. I guess I didn't finish that one. So here's Busy Bee Honey. I thought that I did. And here's how much I have. This is on Monaco dyed with the apple green. I love that color. It works so well for the bees, but I also love it for Halloween. It looks amazing for Halloween stuff. So there's that one. And then I also have Hive Rules. So it printed out in a funky color. I don't know, there's something wrong with my printer at the time. So, and I have a really cool board I want to finish this on and just like stain it with clear coat, so it just brings out the natural wood. So this one is really fun because it is like section by section. You can, and I started this one at the top, which is unlike me, but it's not quite half, but it's almost half. I bet you it wouldn't really take all that long. So I'll have to, that's another week 1. Seems like I have plenty to be working on for the something old section. So that's 10. All right, so 10 WIPs so far. Get the bees back in their bag. And I am going to put them away as we go because otherwise, I mean, this room is not very big, so it will look like a bomb went off. So, sorry, I keep seeing the top of my head. So there's the bee bag. All right. I'm going to pause for 1 second so I can switch some of the bags around, and then we'll get on with the next 10. Okay, so this next one is probably my oldest WIP. One of them. This is pretty old. This is from the Cross Stitch and Needlework magazine, and I'm doing the apples one. So this is, the magazine's from like 2013, and it's very possible that that's when I actually did start this. So I'm doing it on black Ada, and that is how much I have done of that. I would have to go back around. I have no idea where all the floss went, so I'd have to go back through and pull everything. But that would be very pretty. I do have apples out in December as one of the things that I decorate with. So, that would be nice to have done. But that is probably one of the very, very oldest WIPs. And that is in a bag that says handmade. And it has a bunch of other, it has some stuff in here that I don't know that I will ever finish. It's some of that kind of stuff. I mean, they're cool, but I don't know about that I'm ever going to finish them. All right, so here is another bag with bees on it, make a buzz. And this one has a little bag in it. So in here I have the Teresa Kogut with Thy Hands. Sorry. And I would like to actually do all 3 pieces at some point. This is being stitched on, I think it's 32 Heartland. It must be 32 because that was what I did the cardinal on, and it came out really tiny. And unfortunately, I do not have nearly as much done on this one as I would like. Kay Helen, who's one of my followers, she's actually finished hers, and it's gorgeous. So that's as much as I have done for that one. That is definitely a week 1. So maybe even this week, maybe I'll do a little bit, like I'll switch between all 3. Now, week 2 is something new. So that could be something from your stash, which this month is going to be, because I did buy a couple Priscilla and Chelsea patterns this morning because they actually have a sale going on. It's New Year's Day, they do a sale. I forget, it's New Year's, Mother's Day, and Black Friday are the 3 days that they do a sale. And I did buy a few things, but then I'm done. I clearly have more books than I need. I have obviously a lot to, so no buying for January. Starting now. So something new, week 2 will be from my stash. All right, I gotta move bags again. Sorry, hold on. All right, my next bag is a strawberry one, which is very appropriate for my theme in my library this year. And there's actually not as many WIPs in here as I thought, because I finished a lot of strawberry stuff last year. But I am working on the Strawberry Festival. I wanted to do all 4 of them in a row. So there's the shortcakes, and then there's jam, which I think this is one of the ones I have done. I have to fix something though. When I did from 1 to 2, I got my spacing off a little bit, so I'll have to fix that. This one is pies, and then there's the pick your own. And this is when my printer was being funky, so I apologize for the weird color in this one. So I have done and I probably, even though my book fair is coming up, I seriously doubt I'm going to be working on this one anytime soon with all the other stuff going on. So I have the Pick Your Own, and this is on the other piece of denim. So when I was going to do Honeybee Garden, I just hand dyed a big piece of Monaco, and half went to Honeybee Garden and half is going to this one. So there's Pick Your Own, and I love how the red, I think this is 305? 304. I love how this red pops on this blue. And there's the jam. So this is down 2 squares too far. Because apparently when I lined stuff up and I was looking at the pattern, they printed out in different sizes. And I was like, oh, this will line up with this one. Excuse me. And they didn't line up. So I will just fudge it a little bit. And just maybe put like another strawberry in between the top and where the top little, like where the tractor is or something. So it'll all work out. It'll be fine. So that is number 13. And I would anticipate probably not working on that until it is much more springtime. June, May or June, somewhere around there. Because when I'm done with the berry theme in the library, then all that stuff will just come home and be out in June in my house. All right, the next bag is 4th of July. This was a cute one at the store. So let's see what's in here that I started. I'm really not sure. All right, so we have in here, oh, excellent. This is the July month to month, which I started when we were on our trip to Yellowstone. And it was kind of my car stitch for a good portion of the summer because it's on Ada and I can work on that in the car. And then I didn't get it done. And I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna move on because I think I was ready to start Halloween. So this is on the cracked pine board Ada from Fabric Flair, pretty sure. Yeah, it's not pictured. This is Fabric Flair, which I love with the barns. I think that looks awesome with the barn. And actually, I have to return a floss to it. I was using Cherry Tomato, such a pretty pink, in Jolly, and it goes back in that bag. But I will definitely have this one done before July, so I can put this one out this year. So I don't know, really, if there's anything else in here that I've already started. Oh, yes, there is. But maybe is it in here? Ah. Okay, so I go back in the bag. All right, so I have on here, this is Monaco that I dyed chalkboard. I made it my own. So this is done, Stars and Stripes, but the Freedom Farm isn't done. And I want to have that done. So that would be a cute little round. And then this isn't done either. This is a Pinker and Pumpkin. Oh my gosh, it's so bent over. Sorry about that. It's Sarah Jane 1776 salt box. And I might run a stitch around the white so it stands out. Because sometimes the Carolina, the white ghosts in it, and sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of funny. Sorry, top of my head. You could see a lot of my hair today. Sorry about that. So that's actually 2 more. But yeah, sometimes the Carolina I will outline something, and sometimes I just let it go. It kind of depends. Like the snow in the little prim ornaments, it's snow, so it doesn't have to stand out, but I did like outline the church because it didn't stand out enough. All right, so that was 16. All right, next up, it looks like we have reached, oh, wait, what's in this one? So much fabric, so little time. How true is that one? And is there anything? Yes, there is something in here that is a start. This is where I also have, I have a bunch of spring stuff in this one. So Welcome Home Spring I have in there, ready to go. I actually won that pattern from Priscilla and Chelsea. This is from Carolyn Needleworks, or Needle Art, sorry. She has these adorable little houses. And I was looking for some cute St. Patrick's Day stuff. And so this is the Dublin Inn. And I did this on linen that I tea-dyed myself and then didn't listen to Chelsea close enough. And some of it did start to get a little toasty. So, but I think it looks kind of cool. So that's how much I have done on that one. And I think on this one, yes, the sheep is all French knots. And I know some of you hate French knots. I don't mind them. I just thought that the French knots on the sheep was adorable. And it's also in the window. So it looks like a fringe, which I thought was super cute. So that will be a festive week, probably in March. Something festive is week 3. Sorry, I put it in one of those cellophane bags that I got with a pattern, so it's kind of crinkly. Okay, so that's all that's the only WIP in there, but it does have some other St. Patty's Day stuff and some spring stuff. The Welcome Home. Now the top of the morning I have in here because when I do March month to month, I am going to change it. We don't really have tulips in March in Buffalo, and I like St. Patrick's Day. I know Priscilla doesn't. That's totally cool. I'm going to make the barn green. I'm going to use her March, and then I'm going to use her leprechauns and the little sheep. And I think there's a truck there. Like, there's enough there that I can make it look St. Patty's, because that will make me happy. All right. Now, Halloween. So just, okay. So yes, that's 17. 17. All right. The Halloween bag. This one, could not help myself this year. I know, I'm terrible. I have a strange little sense of humor. There is a lot of stuff in this bag. All right. I started this year the seed packets for Halloween. There's the ghost pepper. I did the, and this is on, oh shoot, what was this linen? This was a gift from Kay. Black Cat Bakery, or Black Cat Pumpkins, sorry. This was like a desert sand, yes, desert sand opalescence. And I thought it was perfect for these. So this one I'm started on, I have them all in a bag so I can finish them all the same when they're all done. But I did start the candy cane vine. So that's all that I got started on that one. But I thought the opalescence was spot on. Really, really cute. I like sparkly. So that is number 18. And those are just in, I found these at Hobby Lobby. I just bought a whole bunch of them. So that's in there. Then we have, because remember in October I started a bunch of stuff, which is part of the reason why I decided I was going to do the little something Sal, was because I wanted to keep myself motivated to actually finish everything that I started. Okay, I do not have the picture for this one. This is the Mystery Sal from Historical Sampler Co., which is British. So again, cool that we get to purchase stuff from all over the world on Etsy. I love that so much. So this is what I have done with that one so far. And I think I found a mistake, like I'm off by something over here in this block. And I didn't feel like ripping everything out. That's when I was sick, because I had pneumonia in October. But this is how far. There's still the Happy Halloween, and then there's still more down here. So not quite half done, but that will be a super cute addition. And I added a bunch of toile to it, which is the sparkly DMC. So like the black cat, and her dress is going to be in the purple étoile. So kind of fun, you know, to do a little bit of your own to it. Okay, then we have Halloween Is that right? Yes. From Anabella's. Loved that the minute I saw it. And that one I am doing all with the étoile, which is this stuff. So it looks fluffy, but it's sparkly. Oh, there you can see some of the sparkles. So it's not like the Krennic or Krennic or whatever, you know, the other sparkly stuff. It's not like that it frays constantly. Frays a little bit maybe, but it's very easy to work with, and I like it quite a bit. So this is on Stormy Night, which I think this is 32. And that's how much I have done on there. And then the white is done in Glow in the Dark. So, ooh, I just dropped something. Yeah, I just dropped the Glow in the Dark into the bee bag, and it definitely doesn't need to be in there. So that one definitely needs a week 4 or something. Boo. I think if I spent a whole week on it, I'd be able to get a good chunk done. Like maybe that will really help me get that one done this year. And then I just kind of shoved the floss in there too, so I know where it was. I may need to pick up some more black étoile, I think. Okay, what else do we have in here? Sorry, my bag keeps falling over. So this is the Primrose 13 Spooky Smalls. I don't think I have anything actually started in here, but I would like to do more of those. And I do have this bag is a mess. Sorry about that. Like stuff everywhere. There's some glow in the dark stuff that is like really glowing in the dark. Okay, so this is Happy Halloween from, it's Doreen Jones, and it's going to wind up being full coverage, which is why I did it on white Monaco, because you're not going to see any of the white. So this is about a little less than half done. And I don't have the full picture. And that was from Just Cross Stitch. There's a little, you can see the cute little cat. So that is in there. And then what is on this? There's a random piece. Oh, that is supposed to be, I hand dyed that. That's supposed to be for Witch Next Door from Primrose. Okay, so that is Halloween bag number 1. Let's see what's in Halloween bag number 2. Which is Boo. Love him with his little glasses. I think there's actually fabric that had that on there. This, yeah, if you look at the side, I have fabric that's like that I used in Jake and Jordan's quilt, which I am going to work on today. Okay, so this is the Enchanted Quaker from Luminous Fiber Arts. And Where's the picture? Where's the picture? Hold on. Okay. I found it. It's smushed. Sometimes I'll take cardboard. You know how you get a ton of cardboard when you order stuff? And I will put it in the bag to help keep stuff straight. And this is why. Because the Enchanted Quaker got mangled. So this is from Luminous Arts. And I love, there's so many awesome Halloween Quakers out there. But I liked this one because of the way Halloween is coming from the house in the smoke. I liked the raven that says Nevermore because I teach that. And it is just gorgeous. So this is also being done on Stormy Night. I believe it's 32. And I'm doing that with Witch's Brew from Color and Cotton, which is actually a beautiful, beautiful deep purple. If you can see that it's purple and not just black. Love it so much. And this is just delightful to work on. I see now what everybody says about when you work on the motifs and you can just get, you know, a motif at a time, which I think will also help me because I only have 3 skeins of the Witch's Brew. I will need more of it. So, you know, if I order more and the dye lot isn't exactly right, I think it'll be fine because I'll just be very careful to just do, you know, a motif from a skein and not mix it within the motif. And then I think it'll be fine because it's supposed to be variegated anyway. It'll be fine. Now, so that was one of my starts in October when I had my little start of Palooza. And then I had Cuori Batakori's Halloween and Cross Stitch. Oh, let me check that one off. We are up to 21 because all those other little Halloween ones that came along. So 21. So Halloween is, and I am doing it on 28 count tea-dye linen because that's what I had in the house. And so it's going to be enormous. But you know what? There's a lot of white space in it, and I think it's okay that it's going to be huge. But that's all right. This is how much I have done in it so far. Did start this one also in the corner. Because I didn't cut off the rest of it. Normally I will be very careful about not wasting fabric. But this one I was like, oh, I'll start in the corner. It was the same kind of thing. There wasn't anything really in the middle. And so I figured I'd just do that. So it's going to be a big girl, but that's okay. I have so much Halloween that I think if it's a bigger piece, you'll be able to see it better. And I think it'll be lovely when it's done. Also feels almost like a motif kind of thing, just because the way that, if you look at the pattern, and those are the colors, aren't they pretty? So if you look at it, it's almost like do the girl, do the pumpkin, do that. So it is pretty big, but there's a lot of white space in it too. All right, I'm going to have to go find the battery cord in just a second. And then the last, oh, nope, there's still 2 more Halloweens in here. This one is one of my absolute favorites. Just love it. It's Tiny Modernist's Stitch Witch. She is so cool. I have all of them, and I do want to get all of them done because they're just gorgeous. And I love, the colors are kind of cool too. Awesome Halloween-y colors. So this I am doing on, I think it's 28 count Molly, which originally I purchased because I wanted to use it for the Bee Queen. And then I used it for Hoogie Holiday, and I love this fabric. I just love, I don't know, the specialty fabric has such a great feel to it. So this is how much I got done so far. Now, I've switched something in it. I'm doing her face green and the bodice gray. Because, I don't know, Elphaba, she needs to be green. But I love that too. Very fun to be working on. So a whole bunch of stuff for week 4 in the Something Boo. And I think it'll be kind of fun to work on it all year long. And I also have a bunch of fall stuff that I want to do as well. I have the fall Tiny Town that I would like to do. Because there's nothing that says for week 3 or week 4 that it has to be a WIP. It could be a new start. And then the last one I have in this bag is the stuff from Primrose. I'd already done the alphabet. So the alphabet actually did get finished because I was like, oh, it's small, I can finish it. And I was like, I'm going to finish this thing come hell or high water because it took longer than I thought. So that one is actually finished. And I did it on natural and I love it because it's so like super prim. So that is very cool. So the rest of them I'm also doing on that natural color. So this is the Quaker. Halloween Quaker. And that one is 23. And then I also have the Salem Sisters Stitchery. And this sweet potato color from, is it Classic? No, it's from Weeks Dye Works. I love this orange. It is so cool. I bought more of it to use in another pattern that didn't call for sweet potato, but I was like, it just had a non-variegated. And I was like, nope, nope, we're doing sweet potato because it's awesome. So here is the Salem Sisters Stitchery. And the Quaker. So those are super fun too. And that brings us up to, oh wait, what else is, yeah, okay. That brings us up to 24. But I mean, here's the sweet potato. Let's just look at that variegation. Love it, love it, love it. And it's perfect name because it really does look like sweet potato casserole. All right. I think we're actually getting down to it because that was when I started a whole bunch of stuff for Halloween. All right. I don't think. Nope. This is a bag that has the quilted scarecrow in it and the pumpkin patch from Primrose, but neither of those are started. I'm putting the hunter in there because I was going to do the hunter for the truck. So I might have to order some more color and cotton for that. Okay. That is all of the bags except for a Christmas bag. I'm going to just check. I don't think there's any whips in there. 1 second. Okay. I did find 2 more. So I don't have the picture for this because Pinker and Pumpkin doesn't always have photos with her patterns. But this is the, sorry, I just got a text. This is the winter salt box from Pinker and Pumpkin, which I definitely would like to work on in this January and get done. I love her salt boxes. I would like to do tons of them, and she always has super cute ones. New ones that come out like almost every other month. And then I do have Welcome to the North Pole from Primrose with the teeny tiniest little start ever. So I don't even know, like, should this count as a whip? Well, there's stitches in it, so yes, it should. This I'm doing on the 28 count Vintage Country Mocha, and that is all I have done. I got a couple presents, and that's it. I'm doing this with the called, no, am I doing called for? I think I'm just doing DMC, but I'm going to use a sparkly floss for all of the snow, so that it's all sparkly. I thought that would be pretty cool. And then the only other Christmas whip, and it's still not done because I got distracted, is this Santa Claus. And I really do want to finish him up. So I think he will be my first week 4 or week 3 something festive. He needs to get finished. Oh, okay. Like had my piece of paper out to put behind everything, and now I don't know where it went. So yeah, he's very close. I did do a little bit more work on him. Like I got some more on his face And then it's really just a lot in the, oh, and I got the pom-pom done a little bit more over here. And then the border. And I'm going to do beads for the holly in the border. And that is like a gold braid in the corner as well. So that is 27. So 27 WIPs. That's not too unmanageable. I know that last year I did finish up some things that were WIPs besides all of the starts that I had. So in the 62 that I started, is that right? Yeah, 62 I started. Not all of those got finished. And in the 51 that I finished, some of those were ones that I'd started. Like those were WIPs that got finished up. So, all right. So 27 WIPs. I can do that. I don't think I'll finish them all next year. But I'm definitely going to work on a lot of them. And I think the little something Sal is really going to help with that. So I hope you had fun looking through my WIPs with me. It was kind of, like I said, I had no idea how many I had. So that was kind of fun to see and kind of reshift the bags around in here, which I'm going to do. And then I'm going to start working on the Halloween quilt for Jacob and Jordan. So hopefully I'll be able to show that to you soon. I am going to go back to my regularly scheduled programming, which is probably going to be this Saturday, because if I film on the Saturdays we don't have Brooke and Vince, then that will work, because usually on the weekends we do have Brooke and Vince, like we're out doing something, we're playing games with Matthew and Brittany and that kind of thing. So Saturdays, not Brooke and Vince weekends, is hopefully what we'll go with from here. So thank you again so much for being a viewer in 2024. And those of you who've been with me since 2023, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's so much fun to do and so much fun to have that interaction and hear like you guys like what books I'm reading or what books I've recommended, and seeing my finishes, and just so encouraging and so much fun. I had somebody from Australia who mentioned me on Instagram and that she's doing the Sal, and I was like, that is so stinking cool. So thanks for that shout out, and hope everything's good down under. She said she's going to do something blue instead of something boo, because she doesn't really do Halloween. And I was like, that's awesome. Like, it's the original rhyme, first of all. But, you know, it's adaptable. You can do with it what you will. So I hope you'll join me on the Facebook group. And I hope to see you in a couple of days on Saturday. Maybe I'll have Halloween quilt to show off. I will definitely have Mary FFO to show you. And maybe there'll even be a little more. Who knows? But have a very happy, healthy, stitchy 2025. And I'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye.